Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good, does it? 65 never felt so sad, but it does. It is what it is. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning, morning. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I had a long evening and woke up this morning and it was wow, what a price action. Let's just go straight to the charts.
All right. I'll go first. What the hell? So, if you recall in yesterday's show, wow, that seems like a lifetime ago. When we're starting, this is on the 4 hour time frame right now. I'll just have to rejig a little bit here. You remember the price was up here, right? Way up at 69, 300, somewhere in that vicinity right there. And I had taken on a long at 69, 250. So it was probably even a bit higher. I don't, what time was it yesterday? So it was probably, yeah, right. The price was probably at 69, 700, something like that. But I had a very, very, very near stop loss in place. And I mentioned in the show last night, if we start to break through this stop loss here, I'm looking for a re-entry of the green wave. I said it very clearly last night, and boy, did we get a re-entry on the 4 hour inside the green wave. And we're still deep inside the green wave right now. How deep can we get? That's a very, very interesting question. I wish I knew the answer. I don't know. But we did get the green diamond on the 4 hour time frame inside the green wave. So I have taken on a position at the exact price we're on right now, give or take 65, exactly 65,391. So I'm in exactly the same price as we're currently in right now. I have a very close stop loss once again, not as close as before, but I'm using a lot less leverage than I was back here. I was using 5x leverage here. So, in actual fact, it's probably the same amount of leverage right now. Why I put that stop loss in place there is using the MRI support and resistance zone right here. If we start to break through here at 64, we'll call it 500 and below, which is very near to the current price we are right now, $900, give or take. I don't know. It is all by the dip zone, but I won't start taking on just random by the dips knife catches at that point. This is my attempt at catching the knife. And if we don't recover from this, I won't just start stabbing in the dark. I'll have to just sit on my hands, consolidate my money, and see what happens. We've got a very long way to go. In fact, from now, it's about 18% move down to where my bias will flip bearish. So don't get me wrong, just because we dropped $1,000 doesn't make me bearish. I'm still completely bullish, but I don't know if I can just start stabbing it in the dark here. On the 4 hour at least. I'll have to look for something else. This is my attempt at that catching the knife. We'll see what happens. Daily time frame. Middle of no man's land. It looks like it wants to get to the 50 here. A simple moving average at 62 800. We'll see, which would be fine because that would still be a higher low on this case, and we could put in, who knows what we could put in here, a little Selgin top or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. It's way too close to call it. I'll go drop back down in time a little bit. Yeah, 12 hour is in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. In fact, on the MRI, the 12 hour is looking like it's going to print a red star. We'll go to the weekly for a second because this is another interesting spot, which is around my buy signal here. We just touched on the 7 simple moving average, which is my short-term moving average here. So we're still above it right now. Yes, we're on the weekly 9, and we have come back down to the 7. But what do I always say? We always have to be in the vicinity of the 7. Everyone got angry at me last time I said we have to do something, but we always get slightly above, slightly below the 7 on every time frame. That is the consistent thing you'll see throughout time. So just getting fully extended above it, coming back down and touching on it, that actually strengthened my stab in the dark price, is where I set my buy order to take a punt on this trade. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we open next week below the 7, and oh man, it starts to get scary down to the parabolic SAR, down to the 30 at 44. I don't want to start thinking about that yet. We just have to play the cards we're dealt, and right now it's okay. It's okay. But for how long, I don't know. Tone, I might leave it there unless there's anything on the 1 hour time frame, but you normally go into the shorter term time frames here. Yeah, I mean, what, we waiting for a 9? No, I don't. There's nothing I can see here. It's much the same. That's where I'll leave it. Before I hand it to you,
And no, hey, I got. Can you just go back to your charts?
yeah, which time frame?
Doesn't matter. So my question is,
Yep.
which trades on which time frames are you in right now? Are
All
you
right.
in a trade on the short-term 1 to 4 hour time frame?
All right. I'll just go to the weekly time frame for a second. I am fully in from 17,200 spot position with as much capital as I could find at that time. I found some more capital at 27,200. I'm fully locked and loaded there in a spot position. And from this purple line right here, I'm in a leveraged position at 65,391. So I've got 3, as well as my hodl position as well, which I haven't touched for
Okay,
years.
so you have 2 spot positions from last year and 1 leverage position from a few hours ago.
Yeah, from an hour ago. Yeah, all right.
How leverage is that leverage position? Like 3x, 4x?
3x.
3x. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yep.
That's all I just wanted to review on that. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and I'm not. It's not a $500,000 position. It's a $225,000 position as well. So I'm a bit
The
more.
leveraged one. The leveraged one.
Yeah, the other ones are, yeah, more than that. But yeah, but that's right. Yes, 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 yes,
Right.
yes, yes. All
Right. The
right.
other ones aren't leveraged, so you don't have much to worry on those. Okay.
No.
So I wouldn't worry about the spot positions from last year. But, and this is where things start to get interesting.
You know what? Before you go into your charts, before you go in, please give me back the screen share, because I will consider for a second. Maybe I'll let you do your charts first. But first of all, please use like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Please use the affiliate links for 2bit and BitGet in the description below. Please join the Discord group, because even though we're crashing now, when we recover back into strength, we'll be firing signals, and it's a really great community. So please go ahead, Tone. I've actually got, when you finish, maybe another couple of things that do point to a bit of downside on the EXA and stuff like that. So go ahead, Tone. Go ahead.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Sure can. Yeah.
Okay, so this is not good. Everything I said in our last video and on Friday's video of me being bullish and expecting and still thinking that, yeah, this is an MRI candle, but it takes 7 days. We can still have a blow off top before the halving. All of that is completely irrelevant now. I am actually really bearish right now. And well, you're going to see it as I go through the charts. Looking at it objectively, if I knew nothing about this asset, if I had no bias from yesterday into today, even yesterday when we were sitting at, like, I don't remember what the price was, like 69, and right before the show it was still like 70. I was still bullish. We're consolidating. All that is over. Even if you look at oscillators, everything is still in the upper zone, but everything is way too close to comfort for bullish support. Way too close. Like, we are actually, the RSI has already broken down. So the RSI is broken down. It's broken the 70 area. I have it up at 75. We've broken that. I go to the MACD. The MACD is still pretty strong, but I don't think this will last. The RSI is actually the CMF on a weekly is surprisingly still very strong. But look at this monster taper of volume on the weekly. I don't like that at all, and I'm not even a volume guy. This is a weekly MRI top. This to me is the beginning of a 1 to 4 week correction, and it's very possible we are now gonna be pulling back into the halving. I have to assume that is the more likely probability now, just based on what happened a few hours while I was already sleeping. I'm not going to talk about my night yesterday. I didn't drink a lot of alcohol, so that's good. So I'm not hungover or anything, but I did have about 12 people over at my place. We were playing poker for like 6-7 hours straight because like the last day I'll be in Panama for a while. So the last thing I was paying attention to is Bitcoin price, even though most of the guys are Bitcoiners. This is the chart that is actually scariest looking to me. Yes, we are just at the bottom of a horizontal, let me use a horizontal consolidation. By the way, this is one of those days where I can talk about the price of Bitcoin all day. Maybe I'll do a stream on my channel later, but I'm going to El Salvador tomorrow, so maybe not. Yes, we're at the bottom of the channel, but we have just broken both moving averages on Consensio allocation chart. We are very likely to close below them. I know there's 3 days left and anything can happen and Bitcoin will fly up, but something doesn't feel right to me. And I know I don't trade with feelings. And the MRI here doesn't really matter to me, but we're in the beginning of this candle. So normally I would wait till I have confidence that the candle is going to close something like this. But at the same time, with 3 days to go, by the time 3 days are over, we could be touching the next moving average down at 53. So I am not taking any chances. I am reducing my allocation all the way to 50%. That is how uneasy I feel right now about Bitcoin. I just don't like it at all.
Can I make a suggestion? Yeah. Why don't you use the MRI on the 4-hour time frame, and you can put that price in on your lowering the allocation to breaking the support and resistance zone on the 4-hour time frame. I just say that because it is Bitcoin, because we're so near to the halving. I haven't given up yet. This is my final stand at this price right here, that if we break that resistance line, I'm all with you. And I've got a few things to show as well that makes me bearish macro as well. But this price right here, I'm not so sure. I feel like there's a few $100s left. It's so near.
Let me get to the 4-hour time frame in a bit. This to me is a very concerning situation. So I am pulling the plug.
All right.
And I'm not going to pull the full plug. So but I am very uneasy here.
Yep.
Here's the daily chart. The daily chart, again, everything is hanging on by a thread, but it's hanging on by a thread. It's way too close. It's like literally like sometimes when I say, oh, it's hanging on by a thread, you still have like, you know, a 2% to go, 3% to go, not 0.5% to go, right? It is just too close. It is just too close. We broke the moving average with a vengeance. It was on a red star candle. I have no MRI support until I get to the 128-day moving average. The 128-day moving average has not been tested in what feels like forever, going all the way back to last year. The 50-period moving average did not do anything to hold the price last time it touched it. It's still, it's super close to it. It would be at a double bottom. I don't think it's going to hold again. It is way too close for comfort. And based on the way it crashed last night at the same hour and tonight at the same hour, I'm not going to say there's anything sinister going on. This red star candle gave it all away. I mean, yeah, it's a red star candle, and while it's flirting with this moving average sitting at support at 68, you can say, all right, you still have half a day to go. It's the middle of the night. It's at support. It's at trendline support. It just became a red star candle. Let's give it, 6-7 more hours. And here we are, 6-7 more hours later, and the drop has doubled from when you were considering pulling the plug or even going short on something like this. And it's happening on a red, on an MRI weekly.
Yep.
On an MRI weekly, right? So I mean, like that has to factor for me. So all of that combined is making me incredibly nervous. Let's go to that 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is probably going to be that green MRI support line should show up. It is just too close for comfort. The 4-hour just gave us a second red star candle in a row. it's this MRI support, again, way too close to the middle of nowhere. I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt to reverse, and that's fine. I'm happy to admit I was wrong and get back in at 68.5. But we had, I mean, the moment we broke this support line, it was over. The moment all these moving averages were lost, we rallied all the way back. We broke above this prior swing high, because you got to look at it. I look at it in this term. We were in a downtrend where I thought we could go a little bit lower. Remember, I was looking for 58 for my perfect buy the dip. We didn't get it. We rallied hard out of the downward channel, hit some resistance, were able to find beautiful support at the top of same channel, came back, broke this blue moving average, whatever it is, I like it, and went above, topped at the MRI top. So everything is following, you know, clean TA rules on a 4-hour chart. Came back almost to the same blue line, hit some moving averages, went back up, double top, triple top. It needs to break out. The moment it doesn't, the moment it goes to here, you give it that last benefit of the doubt. This was it. This was my last benefit of the doubt. Is gonna, you know, the longs didn't get their way. The shorts got, you know, sorry, the longs got liquidated a bit on their too bullishness, including myself. I didn't get physically liquidated, but I got mentally liquidated because I was so confident we're gonna break out. Okay, we had this big 4-hour candle. All right, the weak hands of the short-term leverage traders got liquidated. Now we're going to go back up. The moment we don't, the moment we break these lows, and yes, I was sleeping, I didn't see it in real time, it's over. Like even if we were streaming, you know, back when the price was at 67, I would have said the same exact thing. I would have done everything exactly the same right here near the bottom end of this candle. When we go to the 1-hour chart, let's see, that's the 20-hour area. I'll pick the exact hour candle I would have thrown in the towel. So right here, this candle, that's the 10 p.m. candle. I know it sounds like, why the hell would Tone be asleep at 10 p.m.? But I was just super tired, and this is when I was going to bed. I would have given this candle a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because it was rebounding. And then I might have given this MRI buy candle the benefit of the doubt. This red star candle on the 1-hour chart, it's over. This is basically where I'm throwing in the towel, right here. So on that 4-day chart, when that 4-day chart, I say I'm cutting my bullish position from 100% to just 50% on the 4-day chart. Literally, this 1-hour red star candle at breaking the $66,000 area, that's when all bullishness ends for me. And at this point, the only way I'm going to be bullish again is, guess what? Above 68. The same exact thing I was saying early, like 2-3 weeks ago. Remember, we have to break 68. We have to break 68. Well, guess what? We have to break 68 again. Unless we go significantly lower, unless we go to new lows. If we go to new lows, if we break the $60,000 low, I will have way lower areas of me becoming a monster bull. But until we go below 60K, I'm not a bull again until 68.5. This is just all bad right now. I don't like it. And I think right now everyone is going to be looking for that correction. Buyers are going to step away. They're going to step back. I really don't like it. I hope I explained that as well as I could.
Tone, just come back to me for a second. I need to tell you something.
Good.
You explained that so well that while you were talking, I closed my position at break even. That's how well.
So that's why your camera came off. You took your phone down because Matt streams with a phone. He puts his phone right there, uses this camera, and I see it in the upper corner. It's like upside down. I'm like looking at his monitor. So that explains why why you like distracting me with like crazy camera footage.
Yeah, sorry about that. But it wasn't totally break even. I probably paid $500 in fees or whatever. But yeah, I got out at this about the same price I got in at. So I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you something. This is well, now I'm fully in cash. I'm all good. I don't have to be as positive as I was at the start of the show. So I can get rid of these lines right now. So this is what I wanted to show you. Actually,
By the
it's
way, I could be wrong. I'm wrong many times.
yeah, it wasn't
It's
it wasn't totally because of what you said, but it was you convinced me, right? And I'd rather just keep the money in the pocket. So look at this. This is what I was worried about as well, is Socrates EXA. This is I remember I've been talking about the monthly EXA. I got in to my spot positions here on the crossing of the EXA. And I drew this line in months ago. I've talked about it on the show. I was very concerned that we were printing this what's the word I'm looking for here, Tone? A divergence here on a monthly EXA, and we have just had a monthly cross. It's not the place you want to be having a cross in. It doesn't mean it's just going to come all the way back down and print a lower low, come down back here, whatever. That's too much to think about. But it's relevant that the EXA has now crossed on the monthly, and it has crossed on the weekly as well. So these are not signs of strength. Let's call a spade a spade. They're not signs of strength. The EMA still is above 70, but this is you want to be buying here. You want to be buying here. You don't want to be buying here. You don't want to be buying here. So the EMA is not super strong. We on the weekly time frame, and so yeah, we'll see. It's not all is lost yet. Not all is lost, but I agree with Tone. It's not perfect buying the dip conditions unless we're wrong. I think I'd rather buy in a strength at this moment. So that's where I sit right now.
let me get back into screen share. There's
Please.
other stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
So
there is. Yeah.
there's one last benefit of the doubt, and that is the 10 a.m. reversal coming in 1 hour. So the S&P is also having a very shit day already, right? The market hasn't started trading yet. I don't know what the news is. I don't know what's up. Look, sorry guys, it's possible we're going to reverse around 10 in the morning. That's my last benefit of the doubt. My last benefit of the doubt is not price related. It is time related. If the S&P reverses, because the S&P also feels a little bit, concerning here. S&P has very clean support, whatever that line is, 50, just under 5,200. There is S&P daily support. And then there is a bigger one down here, but the S&P could also be pulling back. I mean, usually the S&P pulls back in May, not in April, but hey, you never know. And so there is some hope that in a few hours the price will reverse, but it's too dangerous to risk for my taste. What I did not look at, I looked at my, standard traditional oscillators on the weekly chart, but I did not look at them on a daily chart. And without looking at them at all, I can almost like picture it, because again, I've been staring at charts for 20 years. I bet you the oscillators are going to look horrible. Let's go and find out one by one. Volume. Volume is actually not that crazy yet, but the day's just getting started. This could be a large volume day.
CMF.
The BitMEX funding rate is still super favoring the bears. Look how over bullish it's been since February. And look at the prior situation here for years, right? 22, 23, and then finally right here, we went up a little bit and then faded. So anytime it's here, bulls are, it's favoring the bears. Anytime it's down here, it's favoring the bulls because the majority is always wrong. Right here, it's been getting a little out of hand. So a proper pullback is what it's calling for. This is a horrible looking RSI on a daily chart. This is the kind of RSI that needs a proper reset down below the 30 the 30 area. We've just broken 50, breaking past the prior low, and about to challenge the yearly low. This is a very ugly looking RSI. The MACD was on the verge of crossing to the upside and completely dropped once again. This is a horrible looking head and shoulders on the MACD. And I think that it's time for the MACD to reset as well below 0 and then cross back over. That's a beautiful crossover. Look at that crossover on January 28th. And then there was a little scare late February. Let's take a look at the price. January 28th on the MACD cross. That would be right here with the MRI buy. Perfect. And then a little scare in late February over here, which was somewhat irrelevant. And I remember these days very well. I was so disappointed. The green star candle was coming one day late, but we covered this area pretty perfectly on this breakout as far as I remember. So the MACD is a disaster. Everything's a disaster. Look at the
CMF. Wow.
The CMF just crossed into the red. Everything is falling apart on the daily chart. I really don't like it. We are too close to this 50-period moving average. Will it hold it? I don't know. I have low expectations for the 50-day moving average because it would happen at a double bottom. And it's just getting started on the MRI counts. Okay. This red star candle here is very different. This is the red star candle on March 22nd is very different than this one. This red star candle on the 22nd still clearly held the prior swing lows. You didn't have to be concerned until you went below 62,000, which you didn't do. Came close, but you didn't go below it, and you were still another 1,000 away from the swing lows. This one is very different. This one is breaking the lows of like the entire prior week. It's just everything looks wrong here. I'm throwing the towel in.
Holy smokes, Tone. Hell of a show, mate. Hell of a show. Let's call the show now because the price could bounce and tomorrow you'll feel like a fool and I'll feel like a fool with you. So but this is certainly I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely.
Maybe let's see what the price does. I mean this is my last day in it's my last day in Panama before I fly to El Salvador for the having party. I think we're going to dinner today here with I have a lot of friends here in Panama. It's kind of it's such an anomaly. I lived in New York for like 15 years. I feel like I have more friends here in Panama after living here for like 1 year that I can get together for a dinner in New York. And Miami, I also have a lot of friends. I guess everyone moved out of New York.
Yeah.
Including myself. But maybe tonight, you know, when you wake up, maybe around 3-4 p.m. Panama time, we'll see. Maybe it's time. Maybe we'll do another show because later this week it's going to be dicey. We might both be busy for a show.
Yeah, let's do that. I might have time tomorrow. And look, we cop we'll probably cop a lot of heat in the comment section that we were bullish yesterday and bearish today. It is what it is. If the price goes up back to 70 or whatever, I'll be as bullish as bullish. I'll be back in. Do you know? Like I'm pretty nimble. So don't stress. I want the price to go up, but you got to play the card you dealt. Please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Please use the affiliate links in the description below. Join the Discord group. Share the pain in a community of people, of like-minded individuals. But there's boys and girls in there. Don't feel afraid if you're a lady. There's plenty of very smart ladies in the group. And then when the signals come back in, we can celebrate together. So, Tone, on that note, let's see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Matt. See you tomorrow, guys. Good luck. This was a rough 8 hours to wake up to in the US. Bye, guys.
Hold tight.